disregarded lives, spread rumors that vessels were being made.
I thought that. She was just very arrogant. I never thought that she'd do something this evil.
How dare she do that? She deceived me.
以为当归入药汤，相思泪蓄的心头上，捏儿了手捂在纸上。
Get the VIP access to the best shows on KBC Channel 1. We have something different, something special to spice you up. Get ready for new, exciting and captivating dramas. Movies.
I love the smell.
Comedy.
I went to the popos. Huh?
Drama.
Did he assault the queen in my house, in my presence?
News, sports and so much more. Do the things that make you happy on KBC Channel 1.
Hautakii mazuri, usiamini kila mtu.
Sasa kwa hakika angekuwa hana nia nzuri, angekuja kumamkwa Maya kweli.
Lolote litakalo mtokea Maya utalipa na kila kilicho nacho.
Tutampenda tiketi kama vile kwa tukimpenda mama yetu mzazi.
Vipi boss? Nataka kazi.
Akikutaka Maya atakutafuta.
Kabibe bizibu nyumi zako gwe. Hey, what's up Kenya? This is your one and only Queen aka Swag Mama from Uganda, and guess what? You are watching the Grapevine. Don't touch it. Mwah. Love you.
Baby, I'm missing you, missing you. Yeah. Sema unarudi, baby.
They had taken a break kinda, and each one of them was doing their own thing, but they are coming back, and they're coming back with a bang.
You know, the thing about music and the music industry or the music business, it's a tricky business. You cannot just sing and sit. It's also, you have to hustle. It's a hustle business.
As usual, Had the Band always kill it. I mean, I never see anything wrong with Had the Band.
Good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News. I trust you're having a lovely day so far. Well, we have a comprehensive bulletin lined up this afternoon. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. Well, to kick us off, businessman Harun Aden was this morning deported. According to Aden's legal team led by lawyer Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, they are going to seek a judicial review as they pursue all legal avenues to bring back the businessman, who is said to have a legal working permit that expires in 2023. He also alleged that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions did not find any grounds to charge Aden in court.
Turkish businessman Harun Aden, who was expected in court on Monday morning, has been deported from the country. Aden had been arrested by DCI sleuths on Saturday evening on reasons yet to be made clear. Aden's legal team, led by lawyer Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, accompanied by Kapsuret Member of Parliament Oscar Sude, will confirm his deportation.
Tumeconfirm, tulikuwa tumesikia kuanzia asubuhi, lakini tulikuwa tunataka confirmation kabisa. Tumeconfirm ya kwamba wamemdeport kwa sababu hii mambo yote ni siasa. Kama vile nilisema kuanzia last week ya kwamba huyo mwekezaji Aaron ninamjua kutoka kule kwao, na nikaomba ya kwamba kama anashikwa wanishike na mimi, na kama ni terrorist pia mimi ni terrorist.
The legal team has ever vowed to file a judicial review challenging the deportation process, since Aden is believed to have a valid work permit.
We'll file a judicial review. There's a procedure to challenge all government decisions, especially administrative decisions like this. I think the decision is either made by the Director of Immigration or the Minister in charge. And it happens everywhere in the world that when deportation like this one is done for extra legal purpose, because it has nothing to do with the law. The law is a casualty in this process.
Saudi has termed the arrest and failure by the ODPP to present the businessman in court as a political act.
Hii mambo yote ilikuwa siasa. Na kama vile nilivyosema jana, kama mnatafuta naibu wa rais, mkujie naibu wa rais direct. Mwache kuumiza watu hawana hatia, mwache kuumiza wanabiashara. Wameumiza wanabiashara wengi wa Kenya.
And it's terrible for this country. When you arrest someone from the streets every day, say that he has financed terrorism, then as a government you don't even have the guts to bring him to court so that you can see that process through. It shows how shameless, and this is so unfortunate.
This comes as different references were made to a different 29-year-old Harun Aden, who was arrested in 2001 in Germany on allegations related to terrorism, but later released after prosecution failed to give enough evidence. Well, with the arrest of Harun Aden having raised a lot of political debate in the country, we now wait to see the legal grounds that will be filed due to his deportation. For Lunchtime News, I'm Serafina Robe.
In other news, a religious organization in Kajiado County is on the spot over an alleged scheme to swindle parents in the region. Global Foundation Alliance is alleged to have collected money from parents, promising to pay school fees for their children. Months into the pledge, parents say they have been left in limbo as their calls go unanswered. Let's take a look.
What began as a promising avenue out of economic hardship is turning into agony for some 4,000 parents in Kitengela, Kajiado County. A faith-based organization had allegedly asked parents to forward the details of their children alongside some cash to facilitate their enrollment into a scholarship program.
Kuna wachungaji wameingia kule ndani na ndani kuweza kusaidia watu wao mmoja kwa mwingine, na wanajua vizuri kama nyumba hiyo yenye umeenda na ukaenda kulilia ule mama akupatie mtoto na akupatia 300 ama 500 hata ipata kitu.
According to forms filled by the parents, the foundation had promised to offer needy students full primary and secondary sponsorship. Primary school students were required to register with 300 shillings and 500 shillings for those in secondary school. Parents say they may have been conned, with a section of them reporting the matter at the Kitengela police station.
Kila mtu analeta mtoto yake kwa sababu kila mtu anataka msaidizi. Na ni sisi umeongea kwa sababu ya hiyo pesa, wamwambie sasa tufuate tujue sasa kama hakuna na wamepeleka pesa ya watoto wapi.
Global Foundation Alliance, through the director, Bishop Joseph Otieno Nador, has however denied the claims, saying the organization is actively looking for donor to fund the program.
Tulianza kufuata, mimi nikatembea na Nanzi nikamwambia ofisi yenu iko wapi. Alinipeleka hadi Kibera. Kuenda Kibera nikaanza kujua maneno si wazi, kwa sababu wao wenyewe hatujawakuta, hakukuwa na mtu kwa ofisi. Walianza kuzingitia kuwa eti wako mbali.
So tulikuwa tunadhania maybe they'll get a chance na maybe ni opportunity nyingine yao. Ikakuja ikawa ni something different because tulikuwa tunalipa registration money. Primary schools, watoto wa primary schools walikuwa wanalipa 300. Wa secondary schools walikuwa wanalipa 500. Ujue hao ni watoto ambao wanahitaji usaidizi. Kwa hivyo mzazi maybe alienda akakopa mali ama hata akajifinyilia mali ya chakula, akachukua ile pesa ndio ule mtoto afanye nini? Apate usaidizi. Hadi wakati huo ulikuwa last year. Sasa tuko mwaka mwingine almost unaisha. Hatujaiona usaidizi wowote.
Bishop Nado was, however, at pains to explain how many students he has registered so far, how much he has collected, and the intended purpose of the monies collected from poor parents. Isinya Sub-County Police Commander Charles Chepkonga has urged the parents to lodge a formal complaint in their nearest police station for investigations.
And away from Kajiado County, West Pokot County has rolled out a water project in the county's borders to curb water shortage conflicts arising from the scramble by pastoralists from the scarce resource. Now, Governor John Lonyangapuo says the solar-powered water project is part of ongoing efforts to bring lasting peace in the region.
Failed rains in the country have put at least 2 million people at the brink of starvation. Pastoralist communities in West Pokot are among the worst hit to forestall conflicts over water. The county government is implementing a project which will ensure residents have sufficient clean water. Residents of Oro area have been walking for more than 15 kilometers in search of water, while herders migrate to fair and wide, leading to scramble for the commodity with other communities.
Maji ni mbali na tunaishi mbali. Na mbusi naye hakuna maji ya kunywa. Tunaenda huko kwa mtoni.
According to West Pokot County Governor Professor John Lonyangapuo, the solar-powered water and hand pumps will help residents get water close to their homes. He noted that more than 50 water boreholes will be drilled to curb water scarcity in the semi-arid areas. The project, which is also expected to spur development in the area, will benefit learning institutions and more than 10,000 households in the semi-arid area. Caroline Kamau reporting for Lunchtime News.
One person has died and 200,000 others affected by hunger following a harsh drought being witnessed in Kilifi County's Ganze sub-county. Speaking in Mrima Wandege area, Ganze Member of Parliament Teddy Wambiru confirmed the lack of a good harvest by residents in Ganze constituency in the past 3 years has been a result of the recurring drought, putting them at risk of starvation.
For 3 years now, residents of Ganze sub-county in Kilifi have grappled with failed rains that have subjected them to food insecurity. Residents say the calamity has pushed them to extreme measures, such as felling down trees to make charcoal for sale, to promote their survival from hunger.
Ile hali iko huku inawezwa na mtu pengine awe na kibarua, lakini asiyekuwa na kibarua sikufichi talala Kibarua ya huku ni kukata makaa, kupasua ngonge, kitosi. Ona hata yale mazidi ya magonjwa ndio inaingia kwa sababu ya.
Some of the locals have also stopped their children from attending school because of a lack of food at home.
Watoto wanataka kwenda shule, chakula hakuna. Sasa tumebaki tu tunahangaika, hatujui tutafanya nini.
Ganze Member of Parliament Teddy Wambiru is appealing to the national and Kilifi County governments to send relief aid to cushion locals from the impact of the drought.
Kwa hivyo ni imani yangu kwamba serikali kuu na serikali gatuzi wataweza kushikana na kuweza kuleta msaidizi ambao unastahili katika eneo hili ili tuone kwamba hakuna watu wengi ambao wataangamiza maisha yao.
For Lunchtime News, my name is Yusuf Hilo.
Now, residents of the newly created Ithanga Kakuzi sub-county in Murang'a will now access government services with ease following the posting of a deputy county commissioner to the area. Before the new unit was gazetted by the government, residents had to travel to Gatanga for vital services.
The creation of the Ithanga Kakuzi sub-county is aimed at ensuring efficient service delivery to locals. The new sub-county was previously under Gatanga.
Kukitokea kama ni maneno ya security, kitu kikitokea sehemu hii, ili ndio OCPD afike sehemu ile nyingine kunakuwa kumetokea kitu, na ndio tulipokaa chini tukakubaliana na serikali tugawanya hii sehemu mbili, Gatanga tukuwe na DC wawili.
Ningeomba viongozi wote wa Ithanga Kakuzi wakiongozwa na mbunge wa Gatanga, mbunge wetu Engineer Ndwati, tushikane mikono ndio to support the government na tuhudumie wananchi.
Murang'a County Commissioner Frederick Ndunga says the sub-county security team would work to weed out criminal gangs in the area.
Changamoto kubwa pande hii ni mambo ya uhalifu wa pombe haramu, mihadarati kidogo, mambo ya bangi na kidogo wizi. Hayo ndio mambo ambayo tunataka pigane nayo.
The new administrative unit was gazetted on June 4th. Residents have been traveling long distances to access government services at the Gatanga sub-county headquarters. Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
And in the political arena, a section of Orange Democratic Movement coordinators from the Mount Kenya region have endorsed businessman Jimmy Wanjigi for the ODM presidential ticket. The ODM coordinators say they had examined Wanjigi's credentials and found him best suited to revive Kenya's economy. Elsewhere, the United Green Movement Party of Kenya is calling on the government to fully implement the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission and other pending reports touching on historical injustices in the Coast region.
ODM coordinators from Mount Kenya region have resolved to support Jimmy Wanjigi's presidential bid. The group hailed Wanjigi's business acumen, saying he is the most suitable candidate to revive the economy.
This is now a different period, and you cannot tell me that the people of the past periods, warriors and heroes, are continually going to fight new wars and new challenges. This is a time for change.
They vowed to popularize Wanjigi in the Mount Kenya region ahead of ODM delegates conference, which will settle on the party's flag bearer.
The party's constitution is very clear. The presidential candidate of ODM shall be chosen from a National Delegates Congress every 5 years. We shall be on that ticket.
Elsewhere, the United Green Movement Party of Kenya and the Communist Party of Kenya have called on the government to fully implement the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission report. The political activists want the government to end social injustices beleaguering the coast people so that the issues are not used as campaign tool in the 2022 general elections.
The people who are in power today, who are the landlords, who think we are tenants in this country, want to keep us in a rat race where we chase mirage. They constantly promise us things that they hope we cannot reach, whereas part of the Agenda 4 items that Kofi Annan said must be resolved, should be resolved, must be resolved now and in the future are issues of land reforms.
Kevin Washira, Lunchtime News.
Well, on that note, we take a short break. Remember, this is Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We'll be right back.
What does this number mean to you? A pack leader? A winner? Or just a number? To us, it means freshness, boldness, vibrancy and heritage. That's why at KBC Channel 1, we make it easier for you to pop up your family entertainment to a fresh, exciting and colorful bouquet.
Can't understand why. You get to be crown prince. Do you really think that you deserve to be crown prince?
You don't happen to like me, do you?
A warning. Never touch her again.
How dare you? As public servants, you disregarded lives, spread rumors that vessels were being made.
I thought that. She was just very arrogant. I never thought that she'd do something this evil.
How dare she do that? She deceived me.
Airport kama hii itakuwa ni mzingi wa nchi yetu tukufu, kwa sababu wageni kutoka nchi mbalimbali wataweza kufikia hapa kuja kutembea au kuja kufanya kazi zao wakirudi makwao.
Welcome back. Speaker of the National Assembly Justin Muturi is alleging a cover-up in the death of the two Kianjokoma brothers who died while in police custody. Muturi is raising questions on how and why a police vehicle that carried the bodies of Benson Njiru and Emmanuel Mutura was set on fire. Muturi spoke when he visited the bereaved family.
This is a vehicle which had a lot of evidence, but the police never fired a shot when it was being set on fire. So they brought it the implication and suggestion seems to be they brought it there to destroy evidence, because once it is burnt, the evidence or any evidence, possible evidence that was there linked to it, disappeared. So the transfer may have been. Well, it might be one of those things that happen in the service, but to me, is too little, too late.
Still on matters politics, Narok Governor Samuel Chinai has challenged members of the political divide in the county to emulate their neighbors in Tanzania in entrenching unity in the region. Chinai called on leaders in the county to unite the electorate as the country gears up for the 2022 general elections. He urged Kenyans to do away with tribalism and focus on development.
May God rest his soul in eternal peace. Rais wao Magufuli, the vice president took over. Waliketi kesho yake, the vice president Suluhu Hassan akaapishwa, and she's a woman. In 1 hour ameapishwa, nchi kaendelea vizuri, hakuna shida. The ladies anaendelea na kazi. Alikuja Nairobi hapo, amekaa bilateral talks, I was in there. Akatoa taarifa, akasema, in fact her first statement, alifungua statement, I was there. Akasema, Rais Kenyatta, mimi nimechukua ushukani, I'm in charge of Tanzania, na tuna shida, I'm in charge. That was her statement. Peaceful transfer, hakuna shida. So sisi nao hatujali kama kingine, sisi tunataka a peaceful kama kufanya mambo yetu kama namna. Ama namna gani? Tunataka a peaceful county. Tukae kama vile tulikuwa nakaa kawaida. Uchaguzi ukuje, tufanye uchaguzi wa amani. Tufanye uchaguzi ambaye watu wanachagua viongozi ambao wanataka.
In other news, former Mumias Sugar Company workers have requested President Uhuru Kenyatta to help in reviving the company and hasten the payment of dues owed to them by the company. Speaking at a press briefing, their former employees also lamented over delays in payment of their retirement benefits despite repeated assurances that the dues would be cleared.
Tafadhali Rais, fungua kampuni hii ya Mumias. Wakulima watafaidika, wewe legacy yako itakuwa nzuri, na hata tutakuwa tunajua kweli tuna serikali ambayo inamjali mtu wa chini.
Kila siku president unapata watu wamejiua kwa nyumba, committing suicide kwa sababu ya that depression, that people have developed into depression. Watu wamekuwa hopeless kwa maisha, wamepoteza tumaini.
Now, Greece is experiencing its most severe heat wave in 30 years, in which temperatures have spiked to 45 degrees centigrade. Now, wildfires continue to strike the country in the island of Evia, where the fire fronts have destroyed thousands of hectares of land, along with a number of houses and businesses.
Heat waves are becoming more extreme because of human-induced climate change. More than 2,000 people have already been evacuated, with elderly residents carried on to ferries. Meanwhile, officials and experts have warned that low-income nations are struggling to protect themselves against climate change. Organizations representing 90 countries say that their plans to prevent damage can't keep up with the pace of climate-induced disasters, which are intensifying and happening more regularly. Finally, violence has escalated across Afghanistan after US and other international forces began to withdraw their troops from the country following 20 years of military operations. Taliban militants have made rapid advances in recent weeks. Having captured large areas of the countryside, they are now targeting key towns and cities.
And in the business world, sorghum farmers should embrace a new variety that is less appealing to their birds. Seed specialists at the International Crop Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics say the new variety known as EUS1 is also fast maturing, drought resistant and high yielding.
Most farmers in sorghum producing areas have given up on sorghum farming, cancelling contracts with millers and brewers as birds consume the crop before maturity.
Wakati huo tulifanya contract na Kenya Breweries na tulipanda aina ya mtama unaitwa Gadam, ule mweupe. Tuliendelea miaka miwili lakini tukawacha kwa sababu bei ilikuwa mbaya. Na huu mtama Gadamu unapendwa na ndege.
The farmers are now being advised to take up cultivation of the new EUS1 sorghum variety that is less appealing to the birds and is fast maturing.
One special attribute about our sorghum is that it can be dual purpose. Like you can see, it is green, so it can still be fed to the animals and has high nutritive value we have done, and we saw it has a lot of it has high nutritive value compared to the white one. The white one was actually mainly for East African breweries.
Angalia, utaona mahindi hapa iko green, lakini mtama ina withstand drought, so it's drought tolerant na early maturing.
The new variety developed by Egerton University has a potential to produce 3 tons per hectare as compared to the current popular Gadam variety that produces an average of 500 kilos.
The yield potential nationally is about 500 kg per hectare. But you see, we are talking of up to 3 tons per hectare when we introduce this variety.
The International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics, ICRISAT, is training farmers on seed production and proper sorghum husbandry to increase production.
Millers wanapenda mtama sana kwa sababu ndio wanauzia supermarkets unga ya uji. Kuna wakati nilipeleka mpaka Kajiado kwa sababu huko wanunua vizuri 60 per kilo.
Policymakers believe if sorghum production is increased, it will relieve pressure on maize and save the country the huge export bill.
Moving on, Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization has developed 4 new varieties of cashew nuts that have a potential to produce 1,680 kilograms per acre compared to current yields of 500 kilograms per acre. KALRO Director General Eliud Kiragel says the research body has embarked on a program to train farmers at grassroots level on new technologies and distribute the new variety of seedlings it has developed.
Cashew nut farming in Kenya covers about 23,000 hectares of land with an annual production of about 15,000 metric tons valued at 400 million Kenya shillings. However, experts say Kenya has a potential to produce around 45,000 metric tons valued at about 1 billion Kenya shillings. Farmers at the coast currently produce 10 kg of cashew nuts per tree, whereas there is a potential to produce up to 70 kg per tree. The main constraints have been reliance on aged trees, poor varieties, poor agronomic management, pests and diseases, fluctuating market prices, and weak farmer organization.
One of the most important inputs in agricultural production is quality seed. Quality seed, quality inputs, good management, disease control, pest control, and those are the areas that are being covered in our training programs.
The Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization says it has rolled out a project that will empower cashew nut farmers in the coast region to increase their produce. KALRO Director General Eliud Kiragel says there is an increased demand for cashew nuts globally, saying Kenya is poised to take advantage of the rising global demand.
And we have also introduced some materials from Tanzania and also West Africa, all in the effort to get materials which are resistant so that we can assist the farmers to overcome that major problem that has caused a decline in cashew nut production.
The major cashew nut producing counties in the coast are Kilifi, Kwale, Tana River, Lamu, and Taita Taveta County. Potential export markets include China, Japan, Netherlands, Israel, United Kingdom, among others. KALRO is currently evaluating several varieties of cashew nuts that are resistant or tolerant to diseases. For Lunchtime News, I'm Brian Munywoki.
In other news, plans to open up northern Kenya through a new transport corridor appears to be bearing fruit by facilitating trade between Kenya and Ethiopia. The completion of the 520-kilometer Isiolo-Moyale highway has opened up the region to tourism, trade and industries. Drivers plying the route says time spent on the road has been reduced to 10 hours, easing movement of goods and people.
Kenya plans to open up a new Lamu to Moyale transport corridor to spur economic development in northern Kenya and complement the existing northern transport corridor. The plan involves construction of highways, airports, crude oil infrastructure, resort cities, among other projects. Since the completion of the 520 kilometers road between Isiolo and Moyale towns, cross-border business has improved, reducing travel time between Kenya and Ethiopia. Residents of Isiolo, Samburu and Marsabit counties say the road network has become the most important piece of infrastructure as it has eased the movement of goods and people. Lorry drivers plying along the route acknowledge the positive impact it has brought, saying time spent on the road has reduced to just 10 hours, with cases of highway banditry dropping to an all-time low.
Mbeleni tulikuwa tunaenda kwa wiki moja, siku hizi hata tunafika tu kwa siku moja. Kama askari hawatuzuii hapa, tunafika haraka. Hiyo barabara sio mbaya, ni mzuri na biashara inafanyika vizuri.
Security wise iko salama because kama saa hii I have driven since morning na hakuna mali nimeshuhudia any insecurity.
Government spokesman Cyrus Oguna, who was on an inspection tour of the highway, noted that the ease in movement has opened up the region for business and development, a fact that is supported by the high number of small towns and settlements coming up along the highway.
Hii barabara inaleta kudumisha na kuimarisha uhusiano baina ya nchi jirani ya jirani ya Ethiopia ili kuweza kuendeleza biashara ili tuweze kujenga uchumi zetu ikiwa ni wananchi wa Ethiopia pamoja na wananchi wa Kenya.
Oguna was accompanied by officials from Kenya National Highways Authority, KENHA, Lapset Authority and the President's Delivery Unit. Caroline Jenga, Full Business News.
Now, Somalia's President Mohamed Farmajo has issued a directive barring all government officials and public institutions from entering into new economic, political and security agreements during the electioneering period. President Farmajo said the directive, which is aimed at safeguarding the national assets and sovereignty of Somalia, will remain in force until the next government is sworn in and takes office. Here are the details of these and other stories from the African continent.
The latest executive order by Somali President Mohamed Farmajo is expected to stop reported dealings that have been the norm during the electioneering period. President Farmajo said in issuing the directive, he took into account the prevailing political situation in the country and the constitutional responsibilities of the two houses of parliament in ratifying agreements entered between Somalia and other countries, institutions and international companies. Somalia, which has kicked off elections for representatives of the upper house, is due to hold presidential elections by October. Meanwhile, the apex regulator of banking activities in Nigeria has released new guidelines to further police the services provided by mobile money operators. The new guidelines provide a robust coverage of the mobile money operator value chain from service providers to subscribers and agents. The guidelines have made additions to the permissible activities that were listed out under the old guideline, including mobile money operators being operational, wallet creation, e-money issuance, agent recruitment and management, pool account management, non-bank acquiring services, and card acquiring services. Finally, Zambia was on Sunday hit by a near countrywide electricity. State-owned power company ZESCO attributed the outage to a system failure and was working to ensure all systems were restored. Much of the country, including the capital city and the Copper Belt region, which hosts the majority of Zambia's copper mines, was without power for hours on Sunday. The mines resorted to emergency diesel power. ZESCO later said it had begun a systematic restoration of power and was investigating the cause of the loss of the electricity. Zambia mostly gets its power from hydroelectric generation and has in the past experienced power outages to regular rainfall.
France's Renault says it is looking to revive businesses in China by forming a hybrid vehicle joint venture with Geely Holding Group a year after it ended its previous operation in the world's largest car market. Now, the two companies have signed a framework agreement to set up a joint venture. Here are the details of these and other stories from across the globe.
Venture will see to it that they sell Renault-branded petrol-electric hybrid cars in China using Geely's technologies, supply chains and manufacturing facilities, while Renault will focus on sales and marketing. As part of the partnership, the two automakers have also agreed to explore a joint localization of Geely's Link and co-brand hybrid vehicles in South Korea, where Renault has been manufacturing and selling vehicles for more than 2 decades. The venture would focus on China and South Korea initially, but would likely to be expanded to cover other Asian markets. Meanwhile, tobacco giant Philip Morris has raised its bid to buy respiratory drug maker Vectura for more than £1 billion. Vectura, which makes inhaled medicines and devices to treat respiratory illnesses such as asthma and Coats-Navitis and GSK among its customers, has not yet commented on the new bid. The Marlboro cigarette maker increased its offer to £1.6 per share after US private equity firm Carlyle offered £958 million. Vectura has also agreed to develop a potential inhaled treatment for COVID-19 with Aspira, a UK-based pharmaceutical company which focuses on developing therapies for respiratory and infectious diseases. Finally, Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba Group Holding Limited has fired a manager who allegedly sexually assaulted a female employee and will establish policies to prevent sexual harassment. The manager at Alibaba City Retail Unit, which offers grocery delivery from local supermarkets, was let to go indefinitely and will serve as a warning in the company. Alibaba says it will conduct company-wide training for the prevention of sexual harassment and launch a channel for staff to report incidents. In a memo to employees, Alibaba CEO Daniel Zhang said 2 other bosses who failed to act on the allegation have also resigned.
Quiero amarte de una forma diferente, de otro modo.
Why is it so hard for us to prove Cesar's guilty?
Well...
And now the guy is taking over the entire company.
She just called to threaten me about telling everyone about Mauro.
What? But how did that happen?
We have to prevent this, Cesar.
I want to leave an evidence in case something happens to me.
Lucio heard Lucrecia and Cesar saying that my mother was dead. And today he repeated it in front of Eloisa that Florencia is dead.
Exaggerate. Yes, I'm Horacio Espinosa. I'm here in my house and I'm bleeding. I need help. Mr. Maximiliano Montesinos was hitting me. I can't take it any longer.
De una forma diferente, de otro modo, nunca igual al de otra gente.
Get the VIP access to the best shows on KBC Channel 1. We have something different, something special to spice you up. Get ready for new, exciting and captivating dramas. Movies.
I love the smell.
Comedy.
I went to the Popos. Huh?
Drama.
Did he assault the queen in my house, in my presence?
News, sports, and so much more. Do the things that make you happy on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back. In the sports arena, Kenya's representative to the CAF Champions League next season, Tusker FC, are still top of the FKF Premier League standings after KCB missed out on the chance to go top of the league following their barren draw against champions Gor Mahia. AFC Leopards sits third on 47 points, 11 points behind Tusker, who lead KCB on goal difference, with Bandari and Nairobi City Stars completing the top 5 respectively.